Good morning, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. All right, this is Wednesday, day 3 of our series on the 10 Commandments. So guess what? Today, commandment number 3. Commandment number 3 is found in Exodus 20, verse 7, and it says that you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Now, a lot of people understand this commandment to be one where you're not to utter or say the name of God lightly. You don't use his name in any way verbally less than one that's sincere and real. And the word that's translated, thou shalt not take, that take word, nasa, in Hebrew certainly can mean to utter. At its root, it means to take up. The Greek uses lambano to translate it, to take up. And it's got more of a meaning than simply utter. In fact, it's not the principal word for say. It's a word that conveys the idea of bearing or carrying or having with you. And that starts to unplug the meaning of this commandment a lot more. So the commandment saying don't carry, don't take up with you, don't bear the name of the Lord God for nothing or in vain. Now, name, Hebrew Shem, name, means not simply the label by which you're called. It's got the idea behind it of your reputation. It's what you do. It's what you've done. It's who you are. We still use the word name that way a little bit. You might hear someone say, go make a name for yourself. Well, they're not saying go find a birth certificate or a legal document and invent some name. They're saying make a good showing of reputation. Make yourself known to people for who you are in a good way. Well, that name sort of means that as well. Now, look at where we're getting on this verse. You're not supposed to bear or take up the name, the reputation, the character, the essence of who God is in vain or emptily, if emptily is a word, make it empty. And this commandment is much, much broader than simply don't say God lightly. Of course, it includes that. But at its root, this commandment means those of you who walk by God, don't carry him, don't take him up, his reputation and all that he does, as if it's something trivial or if it's anything less than it really is. Now, this is one of the 10 Commandments that Israel violated all the time. Anytime they whined and moaned and said, look what God's done to us, they've taken that name, the reputation of God, as if it's empty or hollow. But I can't just point the finger at Israel because that finger points right back at me. This is a commandment that all of us break all of the time. Whenever we think that God is not there for us, whenever we think that God is not up to the task, whenever we think that God's going to leave us in the lurch or that God doesn't care, all of those times we're carrying up his name, his reputation, his essence as if it's not what it is. Because God is a caring God. Because God does care for you. Because God does have what it takes to see you through, because God has not abandoned you. See, we need to not take his name in vain. We need to take his name with great confidence that our God, with all of his reputation, with all that he's done, is going to be there for us today. That's your video thought for the day for 10 Commandment number 3. See you tomorrow for number 4.